All right, so I'm doing a update on the NORDA ones because I've totally changed my way and my perception of the shoe. So this shoe is now at 450 kilometers. As you can see, there's still really good tread on them. They still have some of their original corks. As you can see, the only one I've really worn off is this one on the inside. And that's because I go on pretty rocky trails. So it's pretty amazing though that these are at 450 kilometers and they're still pretty good tread. You can see, so you can see on this one too that I wear out the inside cork the most out of all of them on my heel on the inside, which just proves that that's where I touch down with the most impact. I've been wearing these, so I guess I'll tell you about how I had my first experience with them. I thought that they felt great and I took them out instead of breaking them in casually over time, because I know that people discussed that these take quite a bit to break in. That sometimes it can take about 100 kilometers to break in these shoes. But I didn't listen because they felt really good when I tried them on. And I took them down as my only shoe to my race in Texas for Raccoon, which was 100 kilometers. So I was just winging it. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to wear them. These shoes destroyed my ankles, or my heels of my feet. I had blisters that were this big on the backs of my heels. And I know this sounds kind of crazy, but the fact that I had blisters during that race, it was a strategy because that was the most intense pain. But I didn't want to mess with my feet. So my strategy was, okay, I have blisters. Even if I look at them, there's nothing I can do to fix them. Like, blisters are blisters. But I didn't want to get it into my head that I was going to start messing with my feet because I didn't want to lose time doing that. So I used the blisters as a pain to distract me from thinking about anything else. So I didn't have thigh pain. I didn't have muscle pain. I had no cramps. I had no sore knees because I had these blisters. And even the person that I was running with, his name's David. He's from Texas. He's an amazing friend of mine. He kept saying, he's like, are you sure you don't want to stop and change your shoes or look at those feet? And I just was like, David, I'm not here to try on my shoes. I'm here to get this done. And I was determined and I got it done. But I came back from Texas thinking these shoes should be burned. I could not believe how many blisters these gave me, even after Raccoon. So I didn't learn my lesson. I kept going out because these shoes cost me about $300. Maybe closer to 200, but I don't normally spend that amount of money on shoes. So I was determined to try and give them more chances, and I'm really lucky that I did because now they fit like a glove. What I really like about them is even if you get them wet, they don't have memory foam inside. They have a Dyneema product, which your feet will get wet, but they will dry and they will drain. My last run with these were Rockwall, which is about a 56 kilometer run. and it's got about 2.5 or 2.6 kilometers of vertical. And it's a very rocky trail. You go through a lot of crossings, and there was shoe sucking mud. We started at paint pots. We did it the hard way. So we started at paint pots and we went to Flow Lake, but there was substantial shoe sucking mud at the start, and we couldn't avoid it because there was so much overgrowth on the trail. So we're literally just walking in puddles. But my feet were fine for 56 kilometers. They have a really great heel system where it's cushiony, but it's not something where like a Hoka, or like Hokas are really cushiony, but they are almost not supportive. So when you are bombing down hills, this will actually absorb the shock without giving way to the absorption of the shocks, which is really, really cool to experience. It's more like a ski boot. When you plant your heel on a downhill, it stays there. It doesn't wiggle or shift inside the shoe. My heel of my foot has completely adapted to being able to handle this minimal padding. There's some J bars on the inside that have substantially, or sorry, they haven't packed down at all. So they've handled a lot of wear and tear, but they're still there. I think these have done great for 450 kilometers. So great that I actually ordered the NORDA 005. I don't know if it's risky doing that, but it's been a really, really wet year in the Rocky Mountains, and this tread would normally be okay for my race in August, but because we've had so much rain, these corks are starting to not be okay on the heel for downhill. I took these out last weekend and it was raining, and I didn't have as much confidence going downhill in the mud as I used to. So I am assuming that my race might be muddy, and I don't want to be stuck wearing these shoes that don't have corks on the heel. So I ordered some new ones. I'm a little bit worried about the break-in period, but I know with the 05s, it's not as much as the 01s. I just didn't want to get another pair of 01s because these shoes are actually like very, very, these are great. I'll probably wear these to Iron Horse in October. I wanted to make a video because I genuinely said I was going to burn these after Rocky Raccoon with the amount of damage they did to my heel. But they have redeemed themselves, and now they are getting a 5 out of 5 star because they are Canadian made, and they also go the distance. So I got a new pair of Ultra Glide 3s, and they did not perform at all. These are my shoe of choice right now. Love the NORDA ones. I can't wait until I try out the NORDA 5s. Yeah, just wanted to let you guys know that these are no longer on the shit list.